Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bad Tabletop Gaming Podcast. I'm Bill.
Armin?
Dan?
And Andy here.
We're going to be going over some pretty new stuff in the Mournival Events book, so big shout out to the Mournival Podcast before we get started. We were lucky enough to pick up one of the books, and we're going to just go through a little bit of it today for you guys. Also, we wanted to do a big shout out and thank you to the sponsors for the channel, Hammerhead Games. Tony has been really good in helping us out and providing us a lot of support. And also Pop Goes the Monkey. Matt has been really cool and hooked me up with a bunch of executioner bits for a Bedab War style Primaris army. So I look forward to that stuff coming in and showing you guys on the Facebook, Instagram, everything like that. So should be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this Mournival book. It's got everything I think I want from units and rites and stuff like that. So, I'm a big fan of it. So.
A bit refreshing, right? Some different stuff and whatnot in it.
Yeah.
Considering, Forge World takes a long time to actually bring out new stuff or update things, so it's good that there's a group of guys out there that collectively got together and are trying to make things more fun.
Yeah,
especially for Centurion. So, because that's the big focus of the book is the Centurion.
Yeah, there's massive sections. That's what we're going to be looking at today, basically, is going through a bunch of the Centurion stuff. And they have pretty much a bunch of different tiers, anywhere from 5 to 2,000 points, with different restricted and unavailable units, and then ways to kind of curb, maybe some of the more heavy-handed units, right? Like, for instance, a Telemon Dreadnought's only 0 to 1, which is nice because, 2 Telemon and 2,500 points usually can reap quite a toll, so...
And at what point cost are you able to get a Telemon at this point?
You'd be able to bring one, I believe, for the Mournival one, for every 500 points you can take one restricted unit, but like the Telemon's only 0 to 1, so probably nothing until at least 1,000, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean the tough pacing one is always good.
Yeah.
Even that, but I mean it's a
model,
nice rules.
It looks like it's
click that on the full screen there.
It's kind of
looks like it's about 2,000 points. Then you can use a Telemon 0 to 1. So the unit. So.
Oh yeah, full 2K. I see. Nice. Yeah, there's a few nasty little units in there for sure.
Well, Centurion's based around foot troops, right? So
yeah,
it's about Marines, and then it doesn't have any penalties on Dreadnoughts other than like Leviathans or the Telemons, but it's basically just trying to get rid of those big heavy tanks and knights and stuff just to get more feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what the heresy is having 10,000 Marines fight 10,000 other Marines, right? So,
So I know that at the beginning, when you read the battle reports and getting a little bit smaller, you around Centurion quite a bit. Tell me, guys, and I'm sure the viewers will ask the same question, this Mournival Centurion, how is that different from what they would have seen on our channel previously?
What they basically ended up doing in this particular version is the rites of war that you have available to you is huge, and every rite of war kind of fits a certain role. So you'd still see, the Centurion style list, I think, that we would have had on the channel, but there would be more of a flavor build around it, right? Like, there's a couple rites in here that I really like. and one we were just talking about before was the Legion Tactical Company, and it's definitely one of my favorites in this section, just because every Legion Astartes unit with bolt guns can fire Fury of the Legion, and they're able to use it every turn, which is super, super good. Also, being Iron Warriors, right? Iron Havoc squads can take Suspender Webs for 5 points per model. So now you have like some of the best, Devastators in the game. Also toting their guns around, moving and shooting, so...
At half range, right?
At half range, yeah, no, for sure.
Well, I guess we should start at the front, right? So
Yeah. Jumped
I
ahead
mean,
a
there's
little
lots,
bit.
right?
a little bit. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's lots of rites of war out there too, so
Yeah.
us going through each individual one is maybe a little bit much, but I mean, let's tell everybody this is available on their website. Okay? You can find it in the PDF. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, we'll have
Do you believe so?
a link ready, like in the description as well. You guys are able to check out the link to their PDF, like right off their page. So definitely check it out. It's it'll add a
they
whole
have
layer of flavor to your games.
They have a Facebook page and they have a podcast, and so.
I mean, the book itself is pretty popular. It sold out pretty quick, I believe.
Yeah, we all tried to buy one, and it instantly got sold out. Bill was like the last guy of the first series of marks, right? So
Yeah,
the
that
first
initial
edition.
run.
Yeah.
It's right at the end. So I gotta thank big shout out to Mark Meekin, who sent me that messenger post, who was like, "Hey, did you get your Mournival book?" And I was like, "What?" Like, so thank you, Mark, for helping me out with that, because I would have missed out otherwise.
Definitely.
But the PDF is available for everybody, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have a book in your fingers, and then you can actually read it, smell it, look at it. And
Yeah.
it makes it feel real, right?
Especially the way that they made it, right? Like, it looks just like one of the red books. The layout is just proper. It's quite well done.
So
Yeah, the PDF you're looking at is from the book itself too, right? So it's just.
So one big question I have is, does the book that you got smell exactly the same as the one that you were getting before?
Oh yeah. I believe I can smell the heresy.
I got the
cool that they did that
here.
still.
Yeah, it smells like heresy.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get started with rites.
Rites
So
of War?
the most important thing here is they set it up so you don't need a master of the Legion to actually run a Centurion, which I think is big.
Yeah, it is.
Well, no, not every guy's running a Praetor anymore now.
Yeah.
Can you even? I guess that's
well, you needed, in order to get a rite, you needed a Praetor who is a master of the Legion, or someone like a Herald or a Diabolus, or no, a Delegatus. Sorry, those are the only three guys other than Primarchs that have.
So if you're running the Mournival Centurion, you're only allowed a Praetor in at least 2,000 points.
Yeah.
And these rites of war are the ones that you're able to get if you want to run Centurion and run a rite of war. Right?
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, it's pretty much the boots on the ground, right? The smaller characters fighting it out.
Yeah.
So they've allowed Centurion level character, right, to really take some rites now, and obviously there's some cool little new ones that we got here for Centurion. So I guess start with this first one here, the Legion Recon Company, and I guess I could read out the effects of them.
But what's the main important part about this? They can reroll disables first. All models infiltrate. All models that scout or infiltrate gain shrouded.
Infiltrate gains. Yeah,
for the first turn, so that helps them hide.
think that
And then
last
with-
point's one of the better ones, right? Like,
The recon squad equipped with the Nuncio Vox, the enemy suffers -1 to their first reserve roll each turn
This is what I like.
to a minimum of needing 6+.
So this rite is almost the same as the one in the book, but they altered it a little bit, and it's the Nuncio Vox that changed it, and you know it makes it awesome for armies that rely on deep striking and these guys screwing them up. So, and anyone who's played against Andy's Ultramarines know how hard it is to roll reserves with his combo. So this can be, anyone can have it now, and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it makes it pretty neat to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And people get to play around with that now too, right? The limitations, though, is pretty much using Legion recon squads or Amatera intercession cabals or Falcon Claws. They got to be taken as compulsory troops.
And those are specific units to this book, correct?
No,
Yeah.
those. So the first one is from Thousand Suns, and the Falcons are from White Scars.
Okay, thank you.
And I like that they put the limitations in so that if you're playing a certain legion, you have to play with your certain specific units. They kind of have them all through their rites, and so
Nice.
I wonder
You can't.
why headhunters didn't make the list.
pardon me.
I wonder why headhunters didn't make the list.
You'll see later down why.
They have their own.
Sort of, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
So pretty much no Terminator armor. Models with any Terminator armor can't be included in this. Vehicles excluding skimmers and monstrous creatures must begin the game in reserve. And the detachment must include a vigilator. A little different.
Yeah, and you can take a vigilator now as a single HQ character to take this right, so that it becomes more fluffy, and he can scout up with his troops, right? So
Definitely. Has a, I don't know, has a very, maybe it's me, but Raven Guard kind of feel to it, maybe.
I agree. Or Alpha Legion.
Yeah, that's true. Oh. Okay, guess we'll check out the next one here then.
Headquarters.
So, Legion Headquarters Company affects Legion's banners area of effect is increased to 12 inches. The Herald's banners area is effect is increased to 15 inches. Any infantry unit, including Terminators, can be equipped with Nuncio Vox for 10 points. Any unit equipped with the Nuncio Vox can benefit from the Cognos Signum carried by the Master of Signals. It's still only one per unit. If the Centurion Delegatus is equipped with Terminator armor, the Herald and the Master of Signals may be equipped with Terminator armor for 35 points each, which may be further upgraded as per Centurion entry. And the Herald is not equipped with a Combi Bolter, as he is equipped with a banner instead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to make a Master of Signal in Terminator armor. At least he'll be able to survive against the fight now, even though he's taken out like Armin's Alpha Legion Sergeant Terminator a few times.
So the big buff with this right is its big area effect of bonuses, right? So the Legion being able to give the 12-inch fearless bubble, and then your Herald, depending on what faction you're playing, could potentially buff a huge amount of squads, giving them +1 weapon skill or fear or reroll charges. So that's huge, in my opinion. And then the Vox thing, where the Master Signal doesn't even need to be next to the character to these models that have the Nuncio Vox, I think is great as well.
Yeah, it gives them real kind of like a big commander all over the board, right?
Yeah, kind of like kind of feels like an Imperial Guard kind of thing going.
Almost, yeah. The
Like
Vox.
the old
Yeah,
rules,
to be able to give them that Cognis Signum bonus, yeah,
across the
it's pretty
table.
sweet.
So
Especially where you kind of might like need it, right?
yeah, in a clutch situation, right? So
Oh, that's pretty cool. Limitations. Warlord must be a Centurion or Delegatus. Leading a unit comprised of a Herald, Command Squad, and a Master of Signal. So like your HQ is literally like clumped together.
yeah.
It kind of makes sense if you're getting those bonuses, they're forcing you to take.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Independent characters in this unit cannot be detached to other units unless they're the last model in the unit. So that's fairly different, but makes sense, especially for, I mean, it is a Legion headquarter company, so
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty neat. I guess you could really kind of customize your models to look that part. You know what I mean? If the independent characters are equipped with power or artificial armor, a Caesarian or Templar Brethren squad may be selected as the command squad. Ultramarines and Imperial Fists. And then if the independent character is equipped with Terminator armor, a Phoenix, Gorgon, Death Shroud, Justarian, or Firedrake squad may be selected as a command squad. And the rite cannot be used.
I noticed they don't have Tyrant Siege Terminators in there. Just saying, you know. What's up with that, guys?
That's a command squad for you.
Yeah,
Story with them as a command squad. Yeah.
that'd be so good.
Command
Yeah,
artillery squad. Yeah.
It doesn't
Literally
work.
moving tanks, and they're part of a command squad.
Perfect.
And then the last limitation to it is the rite cannot be used with the Shattered Legion army.
Which makes sense, right? Because Shattered Legion doesn't really have a structure going, so.
Yeah.
No, I like it because it gives you very good abilities, but it also has got very strict limitations.
Yeah.
So,
A command structure, pretty much. Yeah.
so I mean, like if you were to like play in a doubles thing, and you had one guy that was playing this, and the other guy was playing some kind of like recon thing, you could like do a lot of tricky things or combos and stuff like that.
It also goes a lot to storytelling. Right? Like, you build an army, I guess, that you can really tell a story with it, and it makes a lot of sense. Right?
I might actually like look at this one, use it with my Ultramarines. To be honest.
Well, yeah, like Ventanus, right? So
Yeah. Even just modeling new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the one I believe you were talking about before, Bill?
Yeah, this is the one I jumped ahead to. It's
Legion Tactical Company.
Definitely one of my favorites. Just having just a horde of tactical marines that can fury the Legion every turn, to me, is just awesome. Obviously,
for your Space Wolves or for your?
For my Iron Warriors. For my Iron Warriors. Space Wolves, I don't know any guy who runs Space Wolf tactical squads. So, especially with Grey Slayers being an option.
Well,
but,
you have to buy the bolters, don't you?
Yeah.
For the Grey Slayers? Yeah.
Oh,
so we don't even do that. But yeah, this Legion Tactical Company is pretty sweet. I do like how they included Iron Havoc squads and your heavy support squads, being able to have suspender webs. Also, Legion heavy support squads gain implacable advance, which is pretty sweet considering pretty much majority of your detachment is going to be scoring, which is pretty sweet.
Well, but Legion heavy support squads automatically cut with suspender webs.
Oh yeah, they're equipped with it right off the hop. Sorry, yeah, my bad.
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so as Bill was saying, like all the Legion of starting models and attachment equipped with bolt guns can use Fury of the Legion.
How many heavy how many heavy choices are you allowed to have?
What is it?
3 in heavy support. You'll have 3.
3. Yeah, that's right. Elites is 4. That's right.
In
But
Centurion?
this is
Yeah.
Centurion.
Centurion.
Well, it still follows the normal force org.
Yeah, and there's no restriction on infantry units. Like all types of infantry are 0+. So
Okay.
you could definitely run a bunch, right? Like limitations aren't really bad at all. You have to take a Legion tactical squad as a comp troop, which most people do anyways. And then at least one Legion tactical support squad must be taken in the detachment. So still just adding, more boots on the ground for sure. They have a little bump here for salamanders, pyroclasts, being able to be taken as Legion tactical support squads, which is nice.
That's pretty neat. Definitely.
And then the detachment must include an independent character of the infantry type. So really not too bad at all, like in terms of limitations, and for what you get, like continuous Fury of the Legion in a majority of your army. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And you finish that sentence. That little last bit of it is important for the next section.
The detachment must include an independent character. Of
No. At the beginning, you're about to read that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so models in the detachment equipped with the bolt guns can use Fury of the Legion, but note that special ammunition or combi weapons cannot be used with Fury of the Legion.
Which is pretty. So you can't if you're taking seeker squads or vets with those kind of things.
Yeah.
And later on we'll get to special ammunition, but yeah, it just makes
straight up bolt guns.
Yeah, so you're not spamming the craziness.
Well, it makes sense because we're the only tactical squads normally get Fury of the Legion. They're not getting it. So, yeah.
No, it's pretty good. I can see this one be pretty fun. Just kind of advancing and staying put and kind of leapfrogging with each other and just bolt guns going like crazy, right? So pretty neat. Next
I
one.
think Imperial Fist will be a huge. Imperial Fist would be a big one with Iron Warriors. I think would be a big.
Definitely. So yeah, this next one, the Legion Seeker Cadre. So we have Legion Seeker squads or Mordathan or Headhunter squads gain Scout. The cadre gains 2 victory points if the enemy warlord is removed from play by the end of the game.
So that's really the only benefit. They gain Scout and gain victory points. So you're literally just headhunting.
Yeah.
The Headhunter squads.
They don't have Scout already?
Alpha Legion?
No, the Headhunters.
Yeah, but they're Alpha Legion unit, are they not?
Yeah.
I don't know if they do.
They have Infiltrate.
You want to check on that?
Yeah. Yeah, they have Infiltrate, but so do Raven Guard. So you just get Scout now. So you could move and then move again.
It's just still nice, right?
Yeah.
Gets you closer to the target you're trying to take out. Models, limitations. Models in Terminator armor, monsters, creatures, artillery, and vehicles, excluding skimmers, must be held in reserve. And then Legion Seeker squads or Mordathan or Headhunter squads must be taken as compulsory troops.
Yeah. So this is the one where they become troops.
Which isn't terrible, really.
So literally the whole army, technically, depending on how you build the army, I mean, a lot of your squads, troops, will be going up the board pretty quick, right off the bat. And with the restrictions and whatnot, you're going to be fighting mainly a lot of other Marines. So it'd be interesting to see this one. on the board.
Yeah. I mean, as long
Probably
as you're
not.
not in terms of Terminators, right, a lot of these can be quite devastating. Like Headhunters, for example, with bait check ammunition, like they can really mow down some Marines, right?
Fine.
They did a lot in that game with you and Ted, right? So
They did a lot in close combat.
yeah, little power daggers.
Yeah.
The head rending, man. It's amazing. None of you like you just didn't see his face. Like the look on his face was just like,
Well, they're -1 strength. You don't think they're gonna do anything, but as soon as
oh,
you start rolling all these sixes,
and the best part too is like half those sixes were rolled on the like preferred enemy.
oh yeah.
So I would roll ones, then get to re-roll them, and then a bunch of sixes. He was so devastated. I'm not saying it would happen again, but I think, like personally, Headhunters I don't think are the most economical unit in a competitive game, but for like fluffy fun games, they're amazing. They're just,
I think they'd be good in like Centurion and like the Zona Mortalis game that you had,
yeah.
right? So.
And you know what? Too, they really fit what Alpha Legion embodies.
Yeah.
Right? Like really, really nice. Like they can still do it in close combat. Like Power Daggers is still AP3, right? So against normal Marines, they're killing on a 5 or a 6, which is great. They can still do a little bit against Terminators. They're hitting on 2s with precision shots. Like they just like have a lot of little things that make them fit in that arc quite well. So I really like them. I mean, I've never really used them competitively, you guys know, but for fun games, I brought them out that one time, and I was, yep, hooked. Now they're in almost every single fun army I build now, and they're going to be in it. So most likely 90% of the games from now on will have Headhunters in it. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, next one.
This one's probably one of Dan's favorites for sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, Legion Destroyer Company. Any character can be equipped with rad grenades for 10 points per model.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Rad grenades on anybody's awesome. Just minusing toughnesses just increases your odds of killing them.
Out of all the games that we've played, how
Mhm.
often have you seen them?
Well, I take them every time when I was taking a what are they called? Tech Marines? Whatever, Forge Lords
Lord,
or
yeah.
Forge Lords. So I don't know. I like them. They're just hard to get unless you're playing like Death Guard.
Yeah,
they're just hard to get. That's why.
They have them too, don't they?
But
What's nice is any character can also be equipped with a Vox X bomb for 10 points.
mm-hmm.
Any Dreadnought can be equipped with a Fox's Discharger.
this is
for
what
30
I like.
points, which is insane, right? Like Dreadnoughts become hardcore.
Okay. So Bill has used this on me quite a bit, and it is devastating.
With the Leviathans.
Yeah, the obviously Marines just do not last when this hits. But yeah, I've been hit by it too many times. But now, any Dreadnought can be equipped. Oh dear.
To make it even crazier, is it's basically you got to pick and I would go Phosphix Discharger every time because it does replace your Hunter Killer Missile or your Havoc Launcher, stuff like that. So, but to have a Death Machine running around is definitely nice. The Legion Heavy Support Squads and Veteran with missile launchers can have rad missiles in addition for +5 points, which isn't bad either. It's something that's normally just straight up locked to destroyers, so that's nice to open it up a bit.
Well, it's not. It doesn't really have a high AP, but it's got Fleshbane and the Rad, so that it causes -1 toughness if you get hurt by it. But it's the Fleshbane and it's a small blast. And I've got goals to make a Legion Destroyer company. I've been kind of tinkering with it, and my plan is to also have a heavy support squad with the missiles, the rad missiles. And there's a unit we'll get to later which can give any unit they join, suspensor webs. So I was just like, man, it's gonna be crazy if you just have rad missiles running around and
Yeah.
small blasts, and so I
Nice.
don't know.
Nice thing is too is Legion Destroyer squads, Angels Tears, or Ashen Circle squads may be taken as troops, which is pretty sweet.
That's interesting. Ashen Circle squads.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
They're the word
Your
bearer
word bearer.
equivalent, but they're super good now after their FAQ.
Yeah, they're not quite like destroyers, but they're their destroyers equivalent, right? Like they're flamers and they really shoot. But man, that AP3 axe and
Yeah.
Hammerwrath and yeah,
Weapon skill 5.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. No, they're definitely there to mulch Marines. Like I would not want to see that squad charging for Marines.
and especially if you have a character with, you can't. I don't know if you can take
You
characters
can't
with
join
them.
a character with them, no.
I was gonna say with a rad grenades, but you don't need it. You got +1 strength anyways
Yeah.
on the axe. So
You're strength 5 and just do what you do.
They also get the flame pistols, right? I'm pretty sure. So I think they're +1 attack as well. Depending on the charge, they still have 3. There's definitely a bug in my down here.
it's getting
Because
warm
it's like-
up here in Canada.
I was like seeing something like fly behind me. That's freaking
And-
me out.
and the Angels tiers are. I haven't played with them yet, but being able to have 9 rad grenade launchers is crazy, or assault
Super
cannons
crazy.
or whatever, right? So it fits perfectly in this rite.
Yeah, and the limitations aren't bad either for what they have. Like, you must include a siege breaker, which makes sense because you're getting all that phosphix,
Yeah,
and or more tat, which is still nice. And it may be the warlord, which ignores the normal restrictions. So that's pretty sweet. And then yeah, comp troops must be Legion Destroyer squads, Angels Tears, or Ashen Circle, like mentioned before, which isn't too
What-
bad.
It really was.
I think
Really,
you get so
limitation.
much benefits from this, and there's so little limitations.
Yeah.
And I think we don't see enough destroyers anyways on the table, so I think it's a good rite all around.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have some fun with this one, Dan.
I think so.
Yeah.
Those phosphix, man. I got like 3 dreadnoughts planned out to have like
Reroll,
discharges.
So the nice thing with the Centurion Rite of War is like, because we're kind of getting to the end of the segment for this part, they do have a Legion Assault Company. They've got a Legion Breacher and a Legion Veteran. The ones I really want to kind of get into are these. These are Legion specific rites. So there's a Space Wolves one, a White Scars one, and a Dark Angels one that I want to be poking at here. The Space Wolves Black Call. This rite is definitely a little bit different. It modifies your grace layers and really, I guess, encompasses that whole death cult, the whole like having the Speaker of the Dead and your grace layers running in with the Death Sworn pack. So all the grace layers have Warrior's Medal replaced by Dreams of the Death Wolf special
And what
rule.
is that?
It pretty
What
much
is that,
allows
Phil?
you to gain Furious Charge after they have destroyed any infantry, all types, or a monstrous creature in an assault phase.
But
So at least
is that better than being able to run and charge?
I don't honestly know. For Centurion, I don't think it would be. I think running and charging is probably better, just so you can outpace the opponent. But
Mm-hmm.
who knows, right? Like, I do see one thing that's kind of neat is the controlling player may automatically extend the game by 1 turn to a maximum of 7 turns. This is declared immediately before making any roll for random gain links. So you can kind of drag out that mission and really kind of work for like the long game. Try and get that attrition working in your favor and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The one part that really hurts with this, so this is kind of like this rite feels like you're meant to pretty much butcher and kill your opponent versus scoring. Grace Slayers lose the ability to hold objectives, yet they may still contest. So you're not really scoring with them anymore. Grey Slayers must be taken as your comp troops. And then the detachment must include at least one Deathsworn pack and at least one Speaker of the Dead. So you're going to have this massive squad of just hate running up the board, getting flanked with a bunch of Slayer squads. Just pretty much a hate ball. And then Deathsworn squads are not counted towards kill points for attrition, last man standing, etc. Which is nice because they're kind of like looking for a good death, looking for a warrior's death. So definitely adds to some of the fluff.
It makes your, like, if you makes Space Wolf players more like it's just one goal, right? You're literally running up the field, but it also makes it harder for the opponent because now they're not playing against another person; they're playing against themselves to try and get the objectives or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And try to stop you from killing them.
Exactly.
Because you only have one goal, right? It's
Yeah.
just literally to kill.
It's very, very berserker kind of list, right?
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
corny. It's almost like a
Almost.
corn.
Almost. But this is pretty much the one that you push forward with everything and just go,
Yeah.
right? But will you run it, Bill?
I don't know. I'd have to try it for sure.
At least once, I think.
At least, yeah.
Definitely.
And I've got lots of Slayers and Deathsworn, so I'm ready.
Nice.
You,
And then we have the White Scars one, the Terran Brotherhood.
Yes. This rite I actually think is pretty good. It does have like some similar bonuses to the White Scars like Legion rules, but basically models with the Legion Astartes White Scars gain Scout and Hit and Run, which is nice. It's almost it almost feels like a throwback to 40k with some of
Yeah, I
these
was gonna
builds.
say.
For infantry, not jump infantry, the hit and run distance is 2d6, which is nice. Models with Legion Astartes White Scars add +1 to their movement, run, and charge distances. So they're feeling pretty mobile, especially with the scout hit and run, and then getting +1 to all the movements. Can be actually pretty sweet.
Wow, how many times have we been short, on a charge or something, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then their limitations.
This rite can only be used by a detachment comprised solely of Legionis Astartes White Scars. So I guess you're not really taking any allies, I wouldn't think, but
I don't.
Yeah,
think
Shattered Legions or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just.
has to be pure.
I don't think that's what it means. I think it means no javelins, no dreadnoughts. Which, if you're a White Scar player, you're not running dreadnoughts anyway.
Oh, I see. It's like just infantry units with that
you
rule.
have to have Legion Astartes. I mean, I think you could still run bikes.
Just lead. Okay.
Yeah, no,
sure,
that makes sense. Units containing artillery, as well as models equipped with Terminator armor, boarding shields, or infantry equipped with heavy weapons, gain none of the benefits listed above. Heavy weapons and suspensor webs are treated as assault weapons for this rule. It definitely feels, they don't want to be bogged down. They're going for that really, like, lightning strike approach.
The assault thing is awesome, though.
It is good.
Because they don't get the nerf of half range. Now everything is at full range.
Interesting.
Well, I feel they're on
good.
They're on the hunt, right? And they're going in and out with this, hit and run and whatnot. So, I mean, you could picture a lot of Marines just kind of all over the board doing that. Go in, attack, jump out. Oh, I think we lost Armin there.
Lost Armin.
Looks like we did, yeah.
Got sucked into the warp.
Yeah, mishap. He perils. There he is. He's back. This last
Hopefully, he doesn't come
Centurion
back as a demon.
Rite of War is the Dark Angels Unification War Veterans.
I like this.
So
I almost played Dark Angels reading it.
You already know these guys are dirty, right? You already know. These are the bastards that probably took out the Thunder Warriors, man.
Probably. There probably are.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? So any character can be equipped with rag grenades for 10 points.
Still awesome.
That's why Dan likes them.
Keep reading.
Yeah.
Any character can be equipped with the Architect pistol for 10 points. Any model equipped with a bolt pistol can upgrade this to a Volkite Serpenta for 1 point.
Keep reading.
Any model equipped with a bolt gun can upgrade this to a Volkite Charger for
There
2
you
points.
go.
There, yeah, that's
It's pretty legit.
So tactical Marines are walking around with
Just with
Volkite
Volkite.
Chargers.
Yep.
This sounds a lot
Gross.
like my Alpha Legion.
Kinda, yeah.
Could be. Any model equipped with a combi weapon can exchange it for a Volkite Cavalier and Suspensors. That's the heavy support one, right, Armin? The one that you
No,
used?
that's
Caliber is
the
a small one. It's
the
30
inch.
30-inch range. Yeah, heavy too.
But it's
So-
it's heavy.
I don't really know the benefit of this one other than having the ability to fire it at once, right? Because if you're moving, you're firing it at half the range, which is the same as the Volkite Charger.
Yeah. You just get a better strength.
It's a higher strength, strength
Oh, it
6.
is 6. You're right. Yeah. Sorry.
Mm.
You're right. It is 6. Yeah. Yeah. But then also having the ability to stand still and fire at double ranges is huge. So
Yeah.
these guys are the guys that went after the Thunder Warriors. Right?
Yeah.
Literally, this is what they're built for, like high toughness. Right.
This is almost like their destroyer right. I
Yeah.
forget what they call it. It just feels like it's their version of the destroyer. So, because you'll see later.
I think the word you're looking for is backstabber. Doing what Dark Angels do. They're like, that way, man. And they just blast
There's the
them from
Thunder Warrior
behind.
down there.
Yeah. Blast them from behind. Oh.
I like the Volkite covering with suspensor vets.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. 4 shots at 22.5 inch range. Come on, man. Yeah.
You could take plasma cannons, right, with the heavy support guys.
Yeah, so your
Which
missile
makes
launcher.
it feel like Dark Angels.
Keep going with
With
the Volkites.
Spencer webs, I mean.
Why are we changing it? Keep going Volkites.
Any
Oh,
missile launcher
okay.
can be equipped with rad missiles for 5 points. And any infantry model with a heavy weapon can be equipped with suspensors for 5 points per model.
So they really want guys moving.
Yeah.
So I guess like the big question is, any infantry model equipped with a missile launcher and suspensor can exchange it for a Volkite with suspensor. So we're talking here, like regular, like what units can take a missile launcher with suspensor?
Well, vets, any kind of, yeah, pretty much vets.
Veterans, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Vets and
Okay.
destroyers, I guess.
But if you have heavy weapons, so they're like heavy weapon squads,
Yeah.
right? You can buy those suspensor vets for 5 points a model. Cool.
Again, there's this rule of the detachment has to be comprised of solely of the legions Astartes Dark Angels. Pretty much like the White Scar one. It's the same wording, right?
Yeah.
Most of these weapons upgrades here are going to be on infantry units anyways. So why would you even, go a different route? The detachment must include a legion champion or delegatus. Veteran squads must be taken as troops and cannot be taken as elites. Legion tactical and seeker squads are not available. Legion assault and breacher squads gain the support squad rule. And Legion dreadnoughts, all types, and Contemptor Chorus dreadnoughts are not available.
Well, I
This is
think
a
this is like
this is a little weird.
4 times kind of thing.
Yeah, but this is a little weird. Like it says, the right can only be comprise solely of Legion Astartes Dark Angels, but then they specifically also said you can't have Dreadnought.
I think it's just a redundancy, but
Maybe
Just to make sure, yeah. They're just enforcing that, they're not worthy to get put into dreadnoughts.
But yeah, I think the whole point is that they're around because they're the first Legion, right? So they got found.
Well, and they're all
I think
vets,
that's kind of why.
right? So specifically, like war veterans, and then they're all vets. So.
It's kind of funny because the vets in here aren't veterans yet, technically, right? They'd be tactical Marines at the time, but
Well, but you're saying
they're
you're saying
veterans
at the
from
time.
beating the Thunder Warriors now.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
a pretty cool little book. I mean, there's lots more. We'll probably go back to it at some point, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Stuff and touch on
We
a
just
few other
scratched the
things.
surface on that stuff.
Yeah. We just wanted to kind of look at it. So, there's lots of cool stuff. I mean, everybody should look at it because it is really nice. It's well put together. You can tell a lot of thought went into it, and it's not like they just, put out a product. Like they did some testing and play testing. And, so it's nice.
Definitely, and it seems to be a pretty big hit. How fast it's been sold out, and then they got a pretty good community down there too, right? So
well, they run it with every one of their tournaments, right? So
yeah. That's how you know, like these guys, they go the extra mile. It gets play tested through their group. This Mournival event book, I think, is on version 3 now. So like they are continuously polishing it and making it better. They've been doing a lot of work on it. So
yeah, because I had version 2, and the difference between this one and this one and the second one is night and day. Like they've cleaned it up so much, made things more readable, made things just simpler. So, do we want to stop there, or we want to continue with the book? Or
yeah, we can stop there and slide into some hobby progress and see what guys have been up to and what we have planned and
sounds good.
Special projects and stuff like that. So
definitely continue on this book.
Oh yeah,
keep going through it and everything. So we just trying to fit as much as we can in one episode. So
it's tough. I can start.
Sure.
What have I been doing? Not much, to be honest. I can share a little bit about what I've started here. I've got I'm waiting for an order, and I'm waiting for Forge World to open so I can get my lion, and then start on. I have a bunch of Dark Angel stuff sitting here waiting. So I just want to get the lion, and then slowly start building up this army, and it'll probably actually start as a Centurion list, to be honest. Right, like a couple of tactical squads, a couple of transports. I might have to drop some transports for the army, a couple of dreadnoughts, and then go from there. I'll definitely take once I start. I kind of want to put a bunch of stuff together, and then once I start, I want to get some pictures out there, and so you guys can see what we've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I was working on, I had a prototype. I'm just going to grab it because it's staring at me right here. I've been working on a Zorn Mortalis board. I know. And it's supposed to be like the inside of a cavern or a cave. So I'll actually post, like, once I do another one, this is my test tile, and there's lots of things I hate about it, but I've learned a lot. And so the other tiles, what I'll do is I have all of them done in styrofoam, and they're one by one, of course, and they're all exactly the same as you would see in Forge World, like if you were to buy it. But this one, I actually took cork and I glued it to the walls. So once painted, it'll look like inside of a cave, like underground. The original inspiration was actually, and I know Bill, you just finished the book. It was when Word Bears attack.
Oh, in Calth.
Ultramarines Calth, yeah, and they're fighting like underground. That's the only place that isn't completely destroyed, and the sun isn't burning off, and things like that. So that's kind of where I got because I was like, oh, it's literally the same game. It's just it's just underground. So, and I know we all have different Zorn Mortalis boards, right? Like Bill has a Forge World one, I know Dan built one that you guys have seen a little bit. I know we've used, I don't remember what it's called. It's actually in the background of it. If you look at it, that one as
Yeah, I
well.
just used plywood and 2x4s, and then I just glued backsplash on it. I just cut it to size.
Yeah, and then this one is going to look a little different. It's going to take a lot of work because I mean, I'll do a separate video once I actually start doing more of these, and then you guys can see. But that's something that I've been working on, and I haven't done much work on it yet. This was just a test piece. But once I do, the whole board will finish, and then I'll sit down and paint it, and hopefully have a 4x4 to play in a few months. I'm thinking. I don't think I'll be able to get to it every season, but yeah. And other than that, I honestly have not done much. Waiting for a game to finish, and literally halfway in the background here, waiting for to be able to have somebody over so we can finish it. And,
Yeah, COVID put a stop to that. So
That's right. So hopefully they're lifting a bunch of restrictions, and I think I might be able to finish this month, and then you guys will hopefully see it. Hopefully by the end of the month, that would be nice if we can. If not, then you guys will continue to see. I mean, you'll continue to see the Primarch fight anyways. So I mean, you have a bunch of those, and you have a whole tournament bracket. So you guys can see that. Yeah.
I know I've been tinkering away a little bit with some word bears, trying to get squads all done up. I'm waiting on an order for some extra bits and whatnot. I want to mix MK5 and MK4, some of the Chaos Space Marine backpacks and whatnot for
this is all
having
for
like a
30K,
unique.
right?
This is all for 30k, yeah.
Yeah.
To have my tactical squads all kind of fleshed out and looking proper, and definitely looking forward to getting a force together on on the board and take the fight to Andy and show those blue boys
It's
what's
about
up.
time.
Show them what's up.
Yeah, we don't have too many word bearers in our community, right? So it'll be pretty fun to finally take them on
Mm-hmm.
a few rounds, right? So
Well, we
I'm
definitely have one
excited.
now. We have one, and he's been very excited to come play. So
Yeah.
as soon as this lifts, like Andy, you're going to have at least a couple of games that he's going
Oh,
to
for
want
sure,
to play 100%.
for sure.
If I've been tinkering away with my Titanicus, you guys won't. It won't be posted the same day, but I finished my Titanicus model today, and I posted it on the Tuesday that we're filming this. Actually, I gotta finish a unit of Raven Guard for our Noob Lords game to finish the last of it.
Yeah.
We kind of been on a break because of all the quarantine and stuff like that, so it's been slow, but that's kind of where I'm at with progress. I think because uh, we're out of terrain to build for our events, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of that kind of stuff to do. So
As for myself, well, been pretty busy last little while. A lot of terrain, painting up terrain.
Yeah.
Just keeps coming. Dan builds it. Me and Bill paint it. Armin does his thing.
I don't.
um, um, so yeah, a lot of terrain. Obviously, you guys tend to see a lot of it, on our Instagram. A little bit of Titanicus. I first got my first warlord there together, and had a hell of a time deciding which legio to go with. Finally decided. Plans for later on for a salamander army, so that'll be fun. Excited to paint green for once, so not an orc by chance. So, and then we also have the Noob Lord stuff almost done. I got some blue little horrors to finish up, and then Demon Prince as well. Other than that, a lot of the stuff you'll see gets posted, on our Facebook or our Instagram. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of sitting. Excited for games though when we can.
Yeah, I
When
think
you painted,
we're
he said
depending
he
on.
painted 10 tables, I'm pretty sure, right? Or
What's
more.
that?
How many tables did you paint for the terrain?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know. Honestly, it just the flood
At
came in
least-
and I just hit that airbrush, yo.
At least
Go,
10
go.
from the ruins for sure.
At least 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been off for a little while here too, so just it was good, keep me busy and get stuff done for our event, which be very very excited for whenever we pop that off. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm sitting. So pretty cool. Yeah.
Basically, we're just trying to keep our sanity while quarantined, right? So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, right? Like, we're not quite able to, do battle reports right now, but keeping busy, like with terrain that's been mentioned, and building side projects, just really trying to get all the loose ends together, right? Like,
basically, yeah.
if you haven't been painting during this quarantine, like, what are you doing? Like, for real, what are you doing? Come on, like, definitely.
I've been,
Don't worry,
been
we got
trying to
something
get
for you, Aaron.
Yeah, I've been trying to get my wife to play a game,
Yeah.
a beginner game, kind of like I know Mini Wargaming is doing it, so I've been talking to her about it, but I just can't seem to convince her to.
No dice, eh?
But it's like
yet,
I mean, it's obviously
I'll
like this everywhere, right?
chip away.
So
Yeah.
I know guys are on the computers playing that tabletop simulator stuff. So for us, I mean, I know for me, just putting in that time, like getting that stuff done, and then once it's done, we're good to go, right?
Mhm.
So now we can focus on some more personal projects and stuff. And I'm enjoying it. So yeah, and like I said, it's keeping me busy, and just days go by so quickly because it's like you just concentrate on hobby time and do whatever you got to do, and that's it. Good to go.
Yeah.
There's talk in Alberta, especially, that they're going to start opening up things. So we're going to be able to start getting together and actually doing real videos and battle reports. So
Yeah, it'll be kicking off pretty soon, anyways, the next week or 2 or 3, something like that. Which would be nice.
Shortly.
It'll be a nice change of pace,
Yeah.
anyways.
I mean,
even though
we're
these
still
podcasts have been awesome. So
yeah. And I mean, we're still going to do the same thing. Like, if people come over here, like, there'll be hand washing, like, crap done, wear a mask, I'm still not taking any chances, but at least maybe we can get, a battle report or two. That'd be nice.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for hobby-wise.
Progress and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of other guys in the communities are working on stuff, so
yeah,
it's pretty
been
cool to
this
see.
massive big push for just painting, building. That's one of the
Yeah.
biggest things I think that I've gotten done. Like, other than the terrain, is just there's been a lot of backlog. Like, you ask Dan how many boxes I brought that guy. I've just new in box terrain that I've been holding on to for 3 years, right? It's just been crazy. So,
I think I got carpal tunnel from that Imperial Sector stuff.
well,
The old
man,
Imperial
better
Sector
you
stuff.
than me, because I've already did that, and I can't do it. These hands, just they can't do
The
it.
mitts.
So
The mitts.
yeah, I gotta save these babies for painting, because even painting hurts after a while. It's like, oh no. So
So many mold lines.
oh yeah.
They're so old.
Yeah, if you have the pleasure of never owning the old Imperial Sector terrain, thank yourself, like, for not buying it, because the new stuff is very nice. It's a lot better designed. It's with, like, modelers and builders in mind. Minimum, like,
Well, the new stuff's
mold
like
lines.
Lego.
It's so
you literally
perfect.
just snap fit everything together.
Yeah.
And Imperial Sector stuff's like, hold this straight and hold it for their 10 minutes, and then you let it go, and all of a sudden it bows, and you're like, oh, come on, man.
The whole foundation's wrecked.
You know what though? Like the whole set was pretty cheap when you think about it.
Yeah,
It was when you bought it.
For a whole table.
that's the only reason we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
Don't
was,
get me wrong,
it was an upgrade to what we had
nice,
previous. So.
right? It still looks nice. Right?
Yeah.
It's just the new stuff is a little bit nicer. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They've done an amazing job
Definitely.
with that. So. Yeah, I think what's on, like, we kind of talked briefly about it, but we've got Primarch fights still coming out.
Yep.
We're gonna come out with a couple. You don't have to wait till the end of the month. There'll be another one coming out right away.
Yep.
We're doing that every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be about every 2 weeks. I think we'll
So
do
two
like
a month, basically.
Two a month, and then if we can get battle reports, we'll do battle reports as well. If not, it'll be at least 2 a month you're going to get for the Primarch fights. So, and then if you haven't seen the bracket, it's in the video that we released. The first one is Mournival versus Horus. But we'll also put the bracket on our Facebook page and Instagram, I think. We'll probably do that. So we'll end up doing that, and then we'll update it every week. I think the next fight is... I'm gonna lie to you, I don't actually know. I think it's Vulcan and Altharius. I think that's the next one. So, I mean, definitely underdog there, but the first one had an underdog as well. So,
yeah, it did.
No spoilers. Watch it. But yeah, if you haven't, definitely like Horus Heresy 30k, that was an interesting fight. So
it went how it should have, boys. That's all I gotta say.
But definitely stop talking about it. So
definitely check it out. These fights are they are organic, they're raw, they're rolled out, they're best of 3 rounds. We're not just putting up those shenanigans that GW was putting out. So
we did it before GW. They just dropped theirs first.
Yeah, they didn't show their work either. They're just saying what happened, right? So.
Yeah, the model that's next to be sold is the winner of all the matches.
Yeah.
So
come on.
I mean, okay, let's actually talk about this. I was looking at it, and I mean, pick one that you don't really like. The line is pretty good, right? With his rules, when you actually look at it, we don't know a lot of his rules, but the rules that they've come out with, I mean, always hitting on 4s, 4+ invulnerable, rerolling 1. I mean, the only thing that would make him really, really good is 3+ invulnerable, but 4+ invulnerable, rerolling 1 is great. And with able to, like, with Mastercrafted, with the Lion's Blade, right? Mastercrafted Fleshbane.
Does he do all of it with the Lion's Blade?
Yes, that's what they did, yeah. And I mean, we kind of discussed them, and we figured that the Wolf Blade is better, right, overall. But the Lion's Blade, there's a few times when it's a little bit better. So Mastercrafted is good. And then 2+, I still think 3+ rerollable is better. Or 2+, I guess, depending on if you use 10. But they just did Fleshbane, so whatever, we'll keep it. Right? So if we're talking about that, like, that's really good. There's not many Primarchs that always hit on 4s, no matter what, and always hit on 2s. And then he starts with 5 attacks, but as you hurt him, then he'll go to, like, 7 and 9? No, 6 and 7, right? So he's +1? Yeah, +1. So, I mean...
He's good. There's no doubt.
That's really good. So even if you look, like, mathematically, Horus should beat him.
Well, it helps when you're doing the fights, right? Like, I noticed in a few of those fights that they use the weaker version of Primarchs to fight them. Like they're not taking them out to their fullest potential, and it seems kind of weird, right? Like
Magnus doesn't have his full powers or anything.
Well, it doesn't have full powers, or like Horus isn't using a combination of the claw or the maul. Like they kind of picked like one thing. Even with Rust, they just picked the axe, right? It's like, well, yeah, but the sword with Sever Life is way better.
Or combination, right? Like with Horus, I still prefer to use the claw 99% of the time. But the hammer, the World Breaker, is still great because it's Mastercrafted. So at least one attack with that is always good, and then you get concuss, right? It makes a little bit of a difference, right? Yeah. So it's interesting how they did it, and I mean, again, mathematically, Horus should still win, but when you compare him to other Primarchs, there's not many other Primarchs mathematically that should beat the lion with the rules as they are, right? Like if you
Well-
look at Russ, like look at Russ, right? Like Russ is hitting on 3s, but lion is hitting on 4s, right? And then lion wounds on 2s. The Russ doesn't, right?
Russ will either wound on 2s with the axe, or it'll be 4s with shred with his
Right,
sword.
Okay. And then they both have the lion has a slightly better invulnerable save, like 4+ and 3 rolls 1.
With
Right?
reroll,
So,
yeah.
I mean, when you look at it like that, they're pretty close. They're pretty tight, right? Russ hits a little better, but the lion survives a little better. So I think overall, I would probably give it a 50-50 in that case. Which, I mean, story-wise,
Story-wise, it's like that, yeah.
50-50 does make a lot of sense between those two guys. Right?
Sounds like we got to get them in the arena then.
Yeah.
We,
Actually
as soon as we
roll
have the model,
physical dice.
Yeah.
yeah, as soon as we have the model, we'll definitely do another one of these. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Like, would we want to do a bracket style again, or do we just want to give it out to the people and say who you want to see in the arena, and then we just fight them out?
I'd almost like to see people call it out, right? Like I know on
Call
the
out,
the video, one of the comments, someone wanted to see Russ versus Angron, right? You just get some of those kind of iconic fights, and even seeing, you know, some of those grudge match kind of fights go down, like Lorgar and Guilliman. Could be pretty good.
Yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
the lion
Sorry,
against everybody.
Paris and Fulgrim.
Yeah.
Korax and
Take-
Conrad. Like,
Yeah.
Take the lion against every single Primarch and see how he does.
Yeah. Do it
Her-
for real,
yeah.
though.
Hers and Dorn.
Hmm?
That would be a nice one to see.
wasn't there a math hammer where Russ, when he had the -2, could beat every Primarch together or something?
Yeah.
Or it could
They-
last 3 turns or something?
They had a math hammer thing where, yeah, Russ pretty much took on all the Primarchs and survived, I think, 3 or 4 rounds because he had the -2, and he ended up killing like a bunch of them too, which I was like, yeah, man, that's the best. But you know, it almost was coincidentally shortly after that they kind of FAQ'd him and took that away. So.
-2 was brutal.
-2 is crazy.
Oh,
I'll admit it. Super crazy. The -2 or the -1, it's super good. Hands down, it's very good. So,
especially with his high weapon skill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, weapon skill 9.
We kind of discussed this earlier, and what my opinion is with that. But I mean, it is what it is.
it makes you want to get a Space Wolves tramp stamp.
No, I'll just take the lie and then I'll stomp you that way. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. As soon as Forge World opens up, that line is going to be ordered. And as soon as he comes in, I feel like I'm going to be putting everything down. The nothing that I've been doing for, hobby time, and it's going to be getting assembled and painted because
That'll be good.
that's a beautiful model. So, as soon as he's ready, I will. Like, you'll be here. We'll be doing the arena. Don't you worry.
I can dig it.
You know. Speaking of Primarchs, though, the one we haven't really seen too much of is Sanguinius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Blood Angels, really.
Considering how beautiful of a model it is, like he's coming.
Just here,
He's coming.
here in the community, I don't even remember LVO.
I don't remember seeing this.
I
There
can't
was
remember there was any Blood Angel players.
Not at this LVO.
No,
Yeah.
the one before there was, but no, this most
That was
recent one there
before.
wasn't.
Is there anybody in our community that plays Blood Angel?
Jimmy,
Yeah, Jim.
yeah, he's gonna be busting him out. So I'm excited to see him get the rest of his painting done. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the only other person was Andrew at the time there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
But yeah,
Dan's
just to
still
see it-
sitting on that little nest egg.
I don't have a Sanguinius yet.
No, you got everything else though.
Yeah, basically.
Like 500 assault marines and like 30 storm eagles. Something obscene.
It's hard when you get distracted. I got my Iron Hands, my first love, to go to work on still. So
I feel it. It's like my space wolves. They're over here, as you can see, right in this area. It's like a pile of shame on that shelf. So
My camera faces this way.
no.
That's
Yeah,
where
you don't want to see the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
other
actually
side's like
had
this.
so like it's way worse than that. So I actually face that way for work, and it doesn't really matter because it's such a disaster and there's boxes everywhere and stuff that nobody actually knows what it is. And I actually had somebody
Not even
comment,
him.
and I had actually somebody comment and be like, "Why does he choose like a fake background where it's such a messy color room?"
And you're like, yeah, it's a fake one.
I'm like, "That's fake. Yes, that's not my real room. It's definitely
Oh
like a
man.
background I found online." Yeah,
You
but they
chose
were
the
completely.
latter. You didn't want your work buddies to know that you were playing Warhammer, eh?
No, because you can't really tell what it is. So I mean, when
Oh.
people ask, whatever, I don't really care. I have lots of like Armada stuff and Star Wars stuff on there too. But yeah, no, they flat out thought that that was a fake background because they couldn't comprehend that somebody could live like that.
We all have large collections, but Armin's collection always sticks out.
I can't. I guess I'm a short.
Everybody, everybody mentions it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm short people, so
But yeah, no, we're all there, right? We've all got that going.
Yeah. Everyone has a bad pile of backlogs. So.
Mhm.
One thing we did want to make a mention of was our merch store, specifically the Gear Bubble clothing items.
Mhm.
We still have that up and running. We're going to be slowly adding a little bit more as we go. I know we talked about doing like event shirts and whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty much custom made to order for you, shipped to your door. And if there's other things you guys want to see on that Gear Bubble store, let us know. Um, Also available, right? Like on our sponsor for Hammerhead, we've got movement templates, trays, all sorts of stuff. Like as we start kicking into the battle reports again, you'll start seeing that stuff as well. And once I can show, like once we're actually popping off that event, there's a lot of goodies to show you guys too that we have in store. So it should be a lot of fun.
and really, so that I mean everybody knows the anything that we make from that, like we are trying to improve like the cameras and we're trying to get some better
Yeah.
technology so that we can bring you better videos. Right? Like that's kind of what.
That's the main focus is to reinvest into the channel and make it better. Be it
Yeah.
starting with like a good mic setup or whatever the case may be to make our battle reports that much better for you guys to enjoy. That's the whole goal of why we're doing this, right? Is to kind of share our love and passion of the gaming to the community, you guys, and you guys kind of help steer that as well. So that's
Mhm.
why we're
Definitely.
doing it.
Yeah. And I mean we're all like very different players too, right? Like all even the four of us here, like not just our community here in Edmonton, but just the four of us here are very different players and how we approach the game and stuff. So it's kind of nice to bring all those different facets into this as well and go with it, right? And see how it mixes and see how it comes out on camera too. And then what you guys like, right? Because some of what I do or some of what Bill or Andy does, like not everybody loves. But the majority of you guys do seem to enjoy what we come out with, so that's nice. Yeah.
We're just trying to put out some good stuff for you guys, right? And any ideas, advice, comments, you guys let us know.
If you want OnlyFan websites, just ask.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got nothing to do but that. So
If you have cash, I have skin. I'll put it that way. Oh man, awesome.
That's
we kid, but for real though. Unsubscribe.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay.
well,
I guess that wraps this one up.
Yeah.
Thanks
we
for
can just sit
tuning
here and
in,
talk for like,
guys, girls, everyone. And we'll definitely be throwing up another episode later.
Yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell,
Yeah.
everything, and go check out the Mournival, the Hammerhead. Pop Goes the Monkey. They're all good guys, and they all have good content and good quality products. So
Definitely. And if you aren't on Facebook, check us out on Instagram or vice versa. We're hitting posts every day and just really trying to show a bunch of different angles of the bad tabletop gaming. Shout outs, our experiences from LVO. There's lots of pictures on there for you guys to enjoy. So awesome. Catch you guys later.
See you guys.